Justice with Judge Mablean will be life, because in everything we do, it involves the law.
You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I'll make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Debbie Grant is suing Christina Cross in the amount of $248.45. Ms. Grant claims Ms. Cross sold her daughter hair products she didn't need and then lied to her, saying she could get her money back. Ms. Cross claims she never told Ms. Grant's daughter she could get her money back, but said she could come back for an exchange.
Ms. Grant, you and your daughter are suing Ms. Cross because your daughter spent $248.45 on what you call unnecessary hair products, and quite costly, I must say.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want a refund, and the defendant refuses to refund the money. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so now I want to talk to your daughter first, because she's the one who made the purchase. Is that right?
Yes.
You just gave her the money,
Exactly.
and now you want your money back.
Exactly.
So you can tell that part real well, I can tell. So may I ask you to have a seat for the moment?
Yes, ma'am.
So just tell me what happened, and how did you how did it happen that you bought hair products from Miss Cross?
Well, basically, I'll give you a little backstory on me. I'm going into the 10th grade. I skipped a grade. I'm 13 years old.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
And my mom's always teaching me about not being materialistic and things like that. And so I learned that at a very early age, and she's always teaching that throughout our lives. And actually, this was my first time going shopping by myself. My mom was still in the mall, but she decided to let me and my friend finally go ahead and spend my money the way we wanted to. And she gave me $300.
The way you wanted to, or were you there for something specific?
Well, for school supplies,
For
yeah.
school supplies.
So I was super excited. Me and my best friend, she picked up my best friend, and we were like, okay, we're going to the mall, we're going to do this. And so, and we went in, we were heading straight from my favorite store.
What's
and
that?
So, Forever 21.
All
we
right.
were going. And so, we were going in there. I told my mom already what I wanted. And so, we were going straight into the store, and Miss Christina, she was in the middle of her kiosk and both Forever 21. And all of a sudden, she started telling me about how my hair is damaged and that I need her supplies and everything else, and that it was dry and it wasn't taken care of, and all of this stuff that made me feel super horrible about myself. Then she forced me to go ahead and sit in her chair without even asking me.
Okay,
I didn't
wait,
even say
wait.
anything.
She forced you to sit in the chair. So you mean she slammed you in her chair?
She told me that I had to go ahead to her chair, and I always
So let's
respect
use
my
this word.
elders.
Try this word instead of forced. Convinced.
Yeah, convinced me to go ahead and sit in her chair, and I always respect my elders, as my mom told me to, so I didn't tell her no. And so I sat in the chair, and she kept on telling me how my hair is too dry, how it's damaged, how it's
But she
short.
told you it was dry before she had ever touched it?
Yeah.
The first time?
Yeah. She looked at me and she started telling me how it's damaged, how it's dry, everything else. And then she, all of a sudden, while I was sitting in the chair, she put some stuff in her hands and started spraying it all over my hair, putting it through my hair, messing with my hair and everything else. And I didn't know what to say, because I'm not going to tell her no, because all I know is that I'm supposed to respect people older than me, and that's what I do.
Oh, you may have taken that a little too far. So mommy's going to have to tell you how to tone that down.
Yeah, and so basically after that, she convinced me to go ahead and buy these five products that I need to use every night, some kind of thing that would make my hair grow longer and all of this stuff, make it shinier and things, and which wasn't about natural hair. My mom's always telling me how to wear my hair natural. That wasn't about wearing it natural.
Oh,
and
it wasn't? It wasn't
no,
natural hair products?
It wasn't, yeah, no, it wasn't for natural hair. And so my mom's always like, wear your hair natural, curl
And your
it,
hair
be
was more natural when you saw her?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's natural. We wear our hair natural and always have.
And my mom, she always tells me how to be a proud black young lady, and to enjoy the hair that I have and be okay with myself.
So let me ask you this. When she put those products in your hair as you were sitting in the chair and you looked in the mirror, I know Mama's sitting there, but I want you to tell the truth. Did you feel that you liked the way your hair looked after she had put the products in there?
I have to admit it was a little bit softer, but it still felt like it wasn't me. It was someone who I wasn't, because this is my natural me.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
And I'm all about presentation with kids, because that's
So
how
now
I'm
this
with my
kid,
child.
$248.45 for hair products. Did you think that was reasonable?
Well, first of all, I asked her, was her mom with her, and she said yes.
And later,
I didn't have the time to go to my classes anymore and study for them, so I just had to quit.
Not to mention the fact that you were a little depressed and a little upset over the breakup, right?
Right, yes, ma'am.
And he started seeing other girls quickly and bringing them to the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Justice with Judge Mablean. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Debbie Grant, who is suing Christina Cross for $248.45.
When she put the products in there, it was no longer natural?
It became a straighter and things like that.
Oh, it wasn't no longer curly.
No.
All right, so then you got back to mommy
Yeah,
and you told her you had spit?
Yeah, I went up to her and I was actually before I left, I asked Miss Christina if I could be able to get a refund, and she said, "Yeah, we'll talk it out and we'll be able to go back." And so I was like, "Okay."
Wait, what did she say? Yeah, we'll talk it out?
Yeah, she said, "Yeah, we'll talk it out. If your mom doesn't like it, you can come back."
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, I knew that if my mom didn't like it, once I bring it to my mom, I'll be able to go ahead and go back and get a refund. And so when I went to my mom, some sudden feeling told me this isn't right. It's not. You know, I was uncomfortable and everything else. And so my mom was very furious. She was angry when she found out about it. And I pointed her to where Miss Christina was, her kiosk, and my mom went over there to talk to her. I actually stayed with my friend and my sister because I was just uncomfortable. I didn't want to go back over there, so I stayed over in the cafeteria area.
You didn't want to get in the middle of that, huh?
Yeah.
No, okay. Let me talk to Miss Cross a minute. Miss Cross,
Hi,
you
Your
see
Honor.
a young lady, two young ladies walking through the mall. You got a kiosk near one of the most popular stores for teenagers.
Yes.
Good marketing technique on your part. And you have a hair product.
Yes.
So how did you approach Miss Grant?
So when I saw her, I said, first of all, I have a daughter, so her hair I saw was very natural, and my products are for natural hair. They are for natural hair. And so I just approach her like I approach everyone that I see in the mall. You know, are you interested? I know at that age, too, as well, they're teens. Are you interested, you know, in taking care of your hair, and would you like to see some products? And she just, you know, looked and was like, you know, she didn't seem disinterested. So I, you know, went over to her, and her friend was with her, and I started explaining what I do. I told them I was a small business, I'm an entrepreneur, and I explained to them that I created these products from my home, and now, you know, I sell them at a kiosk, and I would like to share it with them. And then that's when she came over. I didn't force her, and I began to show them the products.
Okay, what are the products? What did you tell her about the products, and what are they?
I have shampoo, conditioner, I have a scalp treatment, and I have a treatment that you can put in your hair at night.
And what is that for?
That is for moisture, to keep your hair moisture.
And so a moisturizing cream.
Yes.
All right, and all of these you created, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you tell her about the products?
Yes, I did.
What did you tell her to expect from them?
I told her that they would make her hair healthy, that they would make her hair softer, it would make her hair more manageable. And I'm all about presentation with kids, because that's
So
how
now
I'm
this
with my
kid,
child.
$248.45 for hair products. Did you think that was reasonable?
Well, first of all, I asked her, was her mom with her, and she said yes. So I was like, okay, she's in the mall with her mom.
So did you tell her that once she saw her mom, if her mom didn't like it, she could get the money back?
I told her that she could come back and I would work it out with her.
Okay, got it. Mom, come on. You went back, you had an issue. Did you work it out?
Hi, Judge Mablean.
Yes.
Okay, we tried to work it out, and it did not get resolved.
Well, how did you try to work it out? What did you say to her?
When I went to approach Miss Christina after my daughter came to me with one bag and 5 different products to go step by step with, mind you, she can't even step by step do her homework right at sometimes. So I definitely don't understand, you know, for her to get 5 different products to do her hair with. Miss Christina had a client at the time, but I didn't want to wait for that. So what I explained to her was, me and my daughter are here because we want the product refunded, and I want you never to have to approach my daughter again and put products in her hair because we don't use different kind of products. We're very natural, and my daughter knows about that, and she came back with no school supplies whatsoever, and she was very sad about
but the bottles are totally unopened.
Unopened, ma'am, because we just want to give it to her back and get our refund.
Okay, so now if the bottles are unopened, unused, they haven't left the mall.
Yes, ma'am.
Kid leaves your kiosk, go see mama.
Yes.
Mama doesn't like it. You say, if mama doesn't like it, we can work it out.
Yep.
Mama's back there saying, now give me a refund. Why you can't work it out?
So here was my issue with her.
What's that?
I was there with a client, and I was trying to speak.
Okay, so she was rude, disrespectful. So,
yes.
Okay. Well, that
Yes.
had to do with whether or not you're working it out and refunding the money.
Because at that point, my client had walked away, and I felt the way she was acting, it was
She
like...
made you lose business.
She made me lose business.
You're talking about manners.
But I lost
versus,
business as well.
You may or may not have lost business because of her, but you gained business because you took advantage of a 13-year-old. Look, the girl told you her mother was in the mall. So why couldn't you say, bring your mother?
Exactly.
Bring your mother. Go let her see these products I put in your hair, see the difference in your hair. Bring your mother around here and let her see the difference and see if mother will buy these. Why couldn't you say that as a mother? Knowing that money is limited and it's time for school clothes and school supplies.
Exactly.
I think you took advantage. And I think you were a salesperson and you sold. I mean, that's what you do. You sell. But for a 13-year-old who's with the parent, when the parent is around, and more importantly, when you have lost nothing because it hasn't been opened, it hasn't been used, they're a few feet away from you on the other side of the mall, come right back. Mother, you said bring your mother, we'll work it out.
Yeah, but then the mother
you didn't
came
give
like
any
this.
definition of work it out. So I'm going to work it out. Refund the money. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Okay.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $248.45.
Well, it's obvious you took advantage of my daughter, and I'm hoping that this teaches you a valuable lesson.
I was only trying to help your daughter with my hair products. It was never my intention to take advantage of her.
Coming up.
I didn't have the time to go to my classes anymore and study for them, so I just had to quit.
Not to mention the fact that you were a little depressed, a little upset over the breakup, right?
Right, yes, ma'am.
And he started seeing other girls quickly and bringing them to the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Justice with Judge Mablean. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Kim Rivera is suing Tamara Richards in the amount of $1,200. Ms. Rivera claims she agreed to pay Ms. Richards' college tuition with the understanding that the defendant would maintain a certain GPA, which she failed to do. Ms. Richards claims she was unable to keep up with her classes because she had to move out of the plaintiff's house and get a job in order to live on her own.
Ms. Rivera, you're suing Ms. Richards for $1,200 for tuition you paid for her to go to college. And you want it back because she didn't maintain a certain GPA?
Yes, ma'am.
Please explain this to me.
Well, I met Tamara 3 years ago. One day, my son, Billy, brought her home after high school. My first impression of Tamara, she was a sweet girl, but a little bit rough around the edges. She was smoking cigarettes and cursing in front of me. I asked her if her mom allowed her to smoke cigarettes in front of her, and she responded that her mom, she didn't care what she did at the time.
Oh, wow. So when you heard that comment, it struck a chord with you, right?
Yes.
What did you think then?
I asked her, when she started to continue dating my son, I get to know her better, and I asked her if I could meet her parents. And she stated that she don't have a dad, and her mom would never show up if we'd schedule a meeting. I said, okay, well, next time I drop you off from school, let me come in and talk to your mom and meet your mom. And she agreed. The impression I got from her mom is she was into some sort of drugs. So I asked her nice to Ms. Richards if I can take Tamara to stay with me for a while. And Ms. Richards agreed.
That must have been hard on you, Miss Richards, huh?
I mean, I'm used to it. My mom's been on drugs for as long as I can remember, so it didn't affect me.
At that point, you were used to it.
Yeah.
Coming up.
I didn't have the time to go to my classes anymore and study for them, so I just had to quit.
Not to mention the fact that you were a little depressed, a little upset over the breakup, right?
Right, yes, ma'am.
And he started seeing other girls quickly and bringing them to the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Closed captioning provided by. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Kim Rivera, who is suing Tamara Richards for breach of contract.
Then 3 years passed by. They graduate from high school. So I encourage her to continue school by saying that I will provide to her. I pay for her education if she continue school. And I make Billy, my son, and Tamara agree with upon a contract.
What did the contract say?
I told him that he will continue living at home as long as he continue his school and keep GPA 3.0.
You did the same for Tamara?
Yes, ma'am. And Billy,
what was her GPA like in high school?
They were good, straight A's. Sometimes
you were a straight A student in high school?
I was, just like maybe 1 or 2 B's.
You were determined.
The first month of the first semester of school, I noticed some Tamara distant. So I asked, what's going on? And he just said, Mom, Tamara and I, we broke up, you know.
Okay, so after you and Billy broke up, what happened after you and Billy broke up?
You know, I tried to stay living at their place. He kind of headed into another relationship after we broke up, which I wasn't expecting, and him bringing other girls home like almost every single day of the week. I felt uncomfortable, and I decided to move out. But that meant I had to get more shifts at work and pick up another part-time job, and I just
So now you have 2 jobs?
Yeah, exactly.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
So I didn't have the time to go to my classes anymore and study for them, so I just had to quit.
Not to mention the fact that you were a little depressed, a little upset over the breakup, right?
Right, yes, ma'am.
And he started seeing other girls quickly and bringing them to the house?
Yes, ma'am.
So now you want her to pay you back because her GPA fell and she's not in college. Is that it?
I told her that no matter what happened between Billy and her, that I still will provide to her, because for me education is very important.
So why you want the money
back? And it's not about the money. It's about, you know, 6 months passed after what happened. She never communicated with me after she left the house.
Okay. I'm sure she was ashamed and feeling really bad and just didn't know how to handle it, right?
Right.
And you didn't know how to face the disappointment. So you owe her at least that. Now you know what's going on with her? You still have this attitude of I want the $1,200 back, or you want to encourage her to get back in school?
No, if I want her to continue her education. I want her to know that if she give up about herself, I haven't given up on her.
So can I just hold this case in abeyance for about 2 or 3 years and see what happens?
As long as she continue her education, that's fine with me. And I still want to be part of her life.
She may have to take off a semester. Is that all right?
That's all right, as long as she let me continue being part of her life.
The judgment of the court is I'm going to continue the matter for 3 years. That's the judgment of the court. The court's dismissed.
Judge Mablean has ruled the court will continue the matter for 3 years.
I know I should have come and talked to you before I left. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I do really want to support you and be part of your life.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.